It's been a while. Yes, I know. It's a lot going on, so bear with me. I hope you are, and you are keeping up with everything that I share here and there. And if there's anything bothering you, you have any question, please shoot it out to me on Instagram or on here on the comment section, and that is the same thing I'm doing right now. So there are a couple of questions that I wanted to answer that are coming from you. Okay, that are coming from you, from women who has been asking me questions in my DMs on Instagram, and yeah, sometimes on comments over here on YouTube. So I have decided to come on to answer some few questions that I have received. I have received a whole bunch, and I'm keeping all of these questions, but I am going to answer just few of them, about maybe between 5 and 10 of these questions. So if you have any question, please don't forget to hop on my Instagram at the Muslimah to ask me question in my DM. Actually, it will not be a question that requires nutrition, like deep nutrition education, because I won't do that. That will require a consult, but just a general questions. Or I usually also put question box in my Instagram stories, so you can also check that and keep updated with all the Instagram stories that I have been sharing, because I have been active on Instagram for the past week, alhamdulillah, and I will keep on being active, inshallah. So, and I think that is the best way to interact with me and to engage with my content and engage with whatever I'm sharing, all the educational information that I'm sharing with you all. And yeah, that would be it. But YouTube is not quite the best platform to do that. It only has the comment section, right? Or you can as well email me. So to directly engage, Instagram is better. So again, the link would be in the description box, and also you can just search on the Instagram search bar as at the Muslimah, and you're gonna it's gonna pop up, and you will be able to follow and then also keep updated with my stories and the post. Inshallah is going to be beneficial to you in one way or the other. So before I do that, I'm going to say Assalamu alaikum. I'm not sure if I said that earlier. So Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. I said this dua before I came on live, because I usually say that. That is something that when I'm coming to speak publicly, I try to say it for Allah's protection and also Allah's guidance, and also for Allah to make it easy for me, because public speaking is not my thing. I'm trying as much as possible to be able to feel confident and fluent, okay, to fluent and confident in speaking in public, and also doing this videos and content creation thing. So may Allah help me, inshallah. All right. So the first question that I am going to address is one of the questions. So if you see me looking away from the camera, it's likely because I am looking on the questions that I have that are on my screen right now. So one of my screen right now, my laptop. So I would check on those and like going back and forth with that. All right. So one of the questions that I am going to answer is, so one of the women was asking me that she is pregnant and she keeps waking up in the middle of the night, um, almost every day, almost every night, right? So what should she try? So first of all, I'm praying for you. May Allah make it easy. May Allah give you the strength and the energy to carry you through this pregnancy. All right. But there are few things that are that you can do to help you sleep better. We know that pregnancy itself deprives women from having adequate sleep. Sometimes it starts early, sometimes it starts late, right in the middle or late, especially in the in the third trimester, and then also carrying it through the postpartum. But we are talking about the pregnancy itself. For this woman, I don't know what stage she is, but if she is whatever stage in the first or second or third, there are some easy nutritional tips that she can include. And one of them, and also lifestyle tips. And one of the key ones I would say is to watch and pay attention to the foods that you eat before going to bed. Some foods promote sleep, and some foods deprives you from sleep. So if you are eating foods that deprives you from sleep, or drinks that deprives you from sleep, then definitely you will not be able to sleep at the time that you are expected to sleep and get enough sleep and rest, right, as a pregnant woman. So first is caffeine. I would say that you watch your caffeine intake. Caffeine does not mean if you are drinking coffee only, like we tend to think about drinking coffee is where people get their caffeine from, but that is a myth. Caffeine is also in tea. Okay, in black tea also has caffeine in it. So if you are drinking tea and not coffee, so you're drinking tea maybe 3 or 4 cups a day, or more than 2 tea bags of black tea or any other tea that contains caffeine, except green tea. Green tea doesn't contain caffeine in it. So if you are drinking that and then you're drinking coffee not decaffeinated, you are likely not to get a restful sleep. You are likely not to even be able to sleep at the time that you want to sleep, right? So watch out for that. It's not only in tea, it's not only in the coffee that we get. You can easily be exposed to caffeine that can affect your sleep hygiene. Some foods also affect some foods also have caffeine in it, right? Like maybe chocolate. Some chocolates have caffeine in it. So when you are eating it, dark chocolate are helpful for sleep. But if they are not dark chocolate, you want to check on that and see if like it has very minute amounts of caffeine. I don't do well with caffeine at all, even if it is a small bit. I'm now trying to like have the mindset of maybe when we went to the supermarket with my spouse, I was like, I want to buy coffee to just try tiny bit to see how I would feel in the afternoon, right? Because I am currently homeschooling my twin girls, and sometimes it's a drag. Sometimes it's a drag, especially in the afternoon. So maybe caffeine would be something that would help me to get my energy back and be active, and also be present with them in the afternoon. So I'm like, no, I know myself, caffeine, even though I'm thinking about it, caffeine makes me jitter. It makes me like feel like something is going on with me. It's like it makes my body not feel good. Like I am really, really sick, right? It's like when gone were the days when teenagers or school going age students, I know college students also do that, like drink coffee to be able to stay awake at night to study. When my friends used to do that, I tried that and it was just a disaster. It did not work. It didn't work at all. And I know myself, sometimes when I drink something that has even small amounts of caffeine in it, it makes me very sick. And then if I have to be in the car, it's like really very bad. And I can even like bring it out, throw up. So I know myself. So right now I'm thinking about building a tolerance for tiny bit of it, right? It might not be your case. Your case is you are tolerant with caffeine. And as we know, some amount of caffeine in pregnancy is good, especially in the second or third trimester, but not so much in the first trimester. It depends on if you are already a caffeine drinker, a coffee drinker, or somebody who eats or drinks something that contains caffeine in it, then you are likely okay. So there are limits. I think it's 300 milligrams for the day if you are pregnant. So if you try to like measure what you are taking or what you eat or drink during the day that contains caffeine, then you are good to go if it is not a bother to you. But if it is a bother to you, please avoid it. And there are hidden drinks and hidden foods that contain that as well. So you want to avoid that. And you also want to eat a lot of dark foods. That dark foods have like melatonin in it. And we know that melatonin helps with sleep patterns and sleep hygiene. So if you eat dark foods like dark grapes, like purple cabbage, like red apples, you eat cherries, you eat tart cherries, you eat foods that are dark, you are likely getting a tiny bit of melatonin in your body that can support sleep as well. And then also coming back to the caffeine, try as much as possible if you are a caffeine drinker or you are somebody who takes in caffeine a lot and you are pregnant and there's no problem with it, but I'll caution you to stick with the limit, okay? Try as much as possible to make it a morning thing and not an afternoon thing, because research tells us that it takes about 3 hours or more for that little bit of caffeine that is in your system to start diminishing, okay? So if you take your caffeine maybe around 4:30 late in the afternoon, and you to start diminishing, not to diminish totally, right? So if it takes about 3 hours to start, that means 3 hours on the dot. If you take if you drink coffee or something that contains caffeine, and at 12, and then it's gonna take you 3 o'clock in the afternoon for that surge with your body to start feeling that it has to diminish the little bit of caffeine that is in your body. So that 3 hours is around 3. So before it starts to wash down and go and diminish in your body and clean out from your system, it's gonna take you until maybe 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night. And 7 o'clock at night might be the time that you're getting ready to go to sleep, right? It's not that you're going to sleep at 7. So you might go to sleep at 9 or 9:30. So before that thing goes away from your body, it is really taking a lot of time. So you might want to switch your caffeine intake to be the morning, to be in the morning rather than in the afternoon, right? And then is a no, I would say, for the evening, because that is really, really dangerous. Already pregnancy makes you not to feel like you want to sleep a lot, or sometimes it makes women in the first trimester is one of the symptoms, right? But in the second trimester, in the third trimester, it is like, it's hard, especially in the third trimester, like I said earlier. It's hard for you to get enough sleep, right? So you don't want to take in coffee at in the afternoon, or anything late in the evening. So I would say that would be the first thing to watch out. And then the second thing is, if you are taking prenatal vitamins, please make sure that you don't take your prenatal vitamin at night or in the afternoon, because a lot of the prenatal vitamins have B vitamins in it, right? They have B complex. We have the B12, we have the B6, we have the B1, B and choline and folate. We have all of those things. So if you take those are energy, and metabolic. Those B vitamins help with metabolism, right? So they help to break down food, they help to break down energy, calories, energy in your body. And also when they break down all those foods, they give you that energy to be able to be active and exert the energy, right? So if you take those prenatals that contain B vitamins in it in the afternoon or at night, it is likely to keep you up at night, right? It is likely, just like the coffee, it's likely to keep you up at night, and it's not going to make you feel like you want to sleep. So that's why a lot of doctors and a lot of midwives, a lot of health professionals, OBGYNs advise that you take your prenatal vitamins first thing in the morning, right? So that is a gold advice. So first thing in the morning, when you take your prenatal vitamin, all the B vitamins are giving you all the energy and all the the good feeling that you need to feel in the morning, so you can be active enough, right? So you want to avoid taking prenatal vitamin that contain your B vitamins, all inclusive, at night. Okay, all right, so you want to do that early in the morning, immediately when you wake up. You want to do that, or whilst you eat, or after eating, because sometimes some of the vitamins that are in the prenatal vitamin also interact with food. There's food interaction, food supplement interaction, or food drug interaction, that you don't want to take your prenatal vitamin with your food. Example is calcium. So calcium, when it's in your prenatal vitamin, you don't want to drink it with your tea or your coffee, because coffee or tea has some chemicals, or even with the caffeine itself, that would not make you to absorb enough calcium in your food. The same thing with iron, right? So iron also, if your prenatal vitamin contains calcium and you eat high iron food in the morning, it is likely that your food will not be properly absorbed, especially iron. The iron in your food will not be properly absorbed, because calcium hinders the absorption of iron. All right, so the next tip is to add extra magnesium, or to eat a lot of magnesium high foods. Magnesium supports sleep, and have eaten a lot of magnesium rich foods help you with sleep, right? And then there is also the a tip of maybe adding magnesium glycinate or malate to support sleep, right? So if you go to the pharmacy, you can get magnesium glycinate, but please don't add anything in your regimen before you ask your doctor. Make sure you ask your doctor, your midwife, or your healthcare professional. Even though magnesium glycinate is very not harmful. It is not harmful at all. You can add it anytime you want, but you have to be very, very conscious of informing your doctor, because every pregnancy is different. Every pregnancy is unique. Even if you've been pregnant before, one baby is different from the other. So be careful about that. All right. So, and then also I would say, if you are having trouble sleeping at night, maybe you want to ask yourself if you had a warm bath. So having a warm bath with Epsom salt in it is such a game changer. Even just putting your foot, okay, one foot or both feet in warm water with Epsom salt. Epsom salt is primarily magnesium as well, right? But that magnesium is now consumable. You can consume it, okay? So you add that magnesium, that Epsom salt in warm water, and you soak your feet in it. That is something that can relax you, that can give you the magnesium that in a way you did not take it orally, you took it through your skin. So your skin is gonna absorb it. Or you can as well do a bath with it. Okay, so that is something that my mom does. And I never knew that is helpful, even though she wasn't pregnant in her like mid years. She does that all the time. But I didn't know that until I got into prenatal and perinatal women's health. And I now really recognize it as one of the tools that support healthy sleep hygiene, and then also supports relaxation in general. So you might want to check on that. Epsom salt is very affordable. You go to the pharmacy, you get Epsom salts from the pharmacy. Or even sometimes like the dollar stores, not the dollar stores, like the 99-cent stores carry them. So you can go in there if you live in the area that has those kind of department stores. You can get that as well. So, or you can get that online as well, on Amazon, on a whole bunch of health stores. Epsom salt is very affordable and accessible. So that should also be something that helps us as well. And then digressing a little bit with the sleep pattern, Epsom salt, the magnesium in it helps with swelling. Okay, so a lot of women go through swelling, right? Their feet swell when they are in the third trimester because there's a lot going on, right? There's a whole bunch going on. And then sometimes it's just preeclampsia or high blood pressure, or maybe you are not moving enough or something like that. It's a whole host of stuff that can happen or do happen, right? So Epsom salt helps to relieve you from the swelling, the swelling feet, right? So if you are somebody who is experiencing that, you might want to try that as well and soak your feet in it and make sure that your movement is adequate. You move a lot, you take brisk walk here and there, and you are not always on the couch and sitting, okay? With good posture when you are sitting as well. Good posture helps your body to prepare better for birth, if you're planning for a physiological vaginal birth. Okay, so the last one I would say is to check your hunger, right? If you are hungry, you would not be able to sleep properly. This morning, like around 4:30, almost 5 o'clock, my daughter woke up. And I definitely know that when she wakes up that early, she is hungry. Okay? She is hungry. She will not sleep if she's hungry. And she will not be able to sleep adequately if she's hungry. She knows herself, right? So it's the same thing with women who are pregnant. If you are pregnant, remember, it is not only you. It is you and the baby. If it's happened that you have 2 babies or more, then it is 2 of you or 3 of you. So you really want to always eat. I don't have to tell you that when you are in your 3rd trimester, but some women do leave themselves without food. Okay? So if you are one of them, please do check that. Or some women just pick up anything, like with the craving and stuff like that. Even though there is craving, make sure that as much as you satisfy your cravings, you also satisfy your baby's nutrition and your own nutrition after birth, right? Because that is very important. The craving and eating everything else would end when the baby is finally born, but your body will be there. And if your body is there and is not properly nourished, then that is also another problem that you need to replete the nutrients that you lost, right? So make sure that in as much as possible, you satisfy your cravings and also you satisfy the optimal nutrition that your body and your baby or your babies need. Okay, so watch out and pay attention. Even if you cannot take on a full meal, snacks are easily something that you can adapt and make them healthy. Okay, make sure that your snack is full of protein, it has some sort of protein in it, has some sort of fat and fiber. So that would help to sustain your blood sugar and also will not spike your blood sugar and wake you up at night and still will not be able to sleep. Okay, so that is very, very important. And I hope this answers your question. I know this is very nutrition focused, but I can also add 1 or 2 lifestyle tip for you, and one of them is to make sure that your screen usage is minimal, because nowadays that is something that we all go through. I am on screen right now educating you. It is indispensable in a lot of people's lives, right? But there should be balance. There should be a way that we can control our use and the time and space for screen time. Okay, so if you are having trouble with sleep, I would highly advise that your screen usage should be limited to a certain time in the day. So up until maybe 7 o'clock at night, in the evening, you use your screen, you do all that you need to do, you watch all that you want to watch, you receive all the calls that you want to receive and your text messages and stuff like that, and then you just shut it down. You don't have to turn it off, but you can just put it away and put it in a sleep mode or airplane mode or anything that you are off and you are done. It's like when you go to work, when you are out of work, it's 5 o'clock, you need to leave, you are done with work, right? You don't want anything to do with work anymore. You want to leave. There's the same thing. We should have the same mindset we should have with our screens and our phones, especially if you are having trouble sleeping whilst pregnant. You want to shut it down, and either shut it down if it is trouble, if it is like you are trying all the tricks, everything else, and it's not working, just switch it off. I use alarm on my phone to wake up for Fajr. And then I also sometimes use my phone to play Quran. Okay. So it depends on the day, and it also depends on if I need to turn on the Quran on one of the laptops for my girls, or I need to use the iPad. So I usually use my phone to listen to the Quran before I go to sleep, like right away, maybe an hour or less. Okay, which I know I need to work on as well. But if you are somebody who is having trouble with sleep and on top of it pregnant, like all of those rituals should be something that you can put away for a little bit, or you have to find alternative for them. Okay, find alternative for them. Like maybe using the laptop and it's way away from you, and it is not, it is on a dark mode, and you are listening to the Quran passively. Okay, so that is a good way to do that, or you listening to whatever you're listening to. That is a good way to do that. Otherwise, all the screen, the phone and everything should be turned off maybe 2 hours before you go to sleep, or 3 hours before you go to sleep, and pick up a book or your Quran and recite. And that is going to be very helpful, because we know also that reading a book makes you to fall asleep, right? Especially if you don't have very good stamina for reading. Reading Quran also sometimes gives you a lot of energy, and sometimes it makes you to want to sleep, especially if the surah that you are reading is not really the surah that you are very familiar with, and you're struggling to recite through it. It makes you to want to go to sleep, right? So picking up a book makes you to sleep. But I have never seen somebody being on the phone and feeling asleep, feeling like they want to sleep. And that's the opposite. You see how that thing is? So make sure you watch on that and work on that. So I have given a very detailed answer to this question. Just one question. There's a lot you can do about it. And there is this, all of these things are very, very important, very, very essential. So if you are going through sleep problems, sleep struggles, these are some of the key things that you should do. And then pay attention, because that sleep that you are depriving yourself, you might eventually need that sleep, and you will never get it when the baby is here. Okay, when the baby is here, you won't get that sleep. You will definitely automatically, naturally be sleep deprived. So this is the time you need that. And sleep is one of the medicine. Food is medicine, just as sleep is medicine. Sunlight is medicine, just as food is medicine. And you can't run away from it. Okay, so if you are not getting enough sleep, even I wonder if somebody who does not really have a good sleep hygiene, your metabolism goes out of place. You cannot metabolize enough food. So that's the problem. So it is not just one thing, like one thing that you have to take care of. You have to take care of a whole lot. I'm talking about sleep pattern, sleep hygiene, but I mentioned about food, how you can use food to help and support your sleep hygiene. You see how everything is interconnected? So that is how it goes. All right. So make sure you do all of these things and try as much as possible, because right now it's not all about you anymore. It's about the baby in your body, in your uterus, that needs a rested woman. A rested mother, right? So you want to pay attention to that. And then also, a sleep deprived pregnant woman is also a woman who would not be able to experience an easy birth, because your body and your muscles need the rest. Your body and your muscles and your organs need the rest. So imagine if your sleep is not adequate, you won't be restful. You will not be in a restful space to go through a peaceful and mindful psychological birth, and then it carries on, it catapults all through in your postpartum. So may Allah make it easy, and may you also be able to implement all of these tips, okay, as much as possible, inshallah. All right, so the next question, I'm gonna only answer 2 questions because I think is getting a little bit longer. So I will answer only 2 of the questions, and I will be done with it. All right. Yeah. So one of the questions, it says, can drinking coffee while breastfeeding cause any issue? I have answered that already. So there is the limit. There's a limit that we know is 300 milligrams. I think, I'm not very sure. If I'm wrong, I'll come back again to correct myself. But there's a limit. But everybody has their own sensitivity. Like I mentioned, I am very sensitive to even tiny bit of caffeine. Maybe you are not. So it depends on how much you can tolerate, but the tolerance itself should be taken into account of what is causing, okay? Caffeine is safe when you are in the limit. It is safe when you are in the limit. But how is it making you feel? Right? If it's making you feel energized, why not? Go ahead and have it. But make sure that it is not affecting your sleep. It is not affecting your sleep hygiene, or it's not affecting the day. All right? Because we know caffeine transfers into the baby. Okay, it crosses the placenta, it crosses it goes through the amniotic fluid to the baby. Yes, caffeine does that. All right, so you want to make sure that you are within the limit of what the recommendation and what the research tells us. Okay, so it depends on how you feel. It depends on how you are tolerant and also your sensitivity. So go ahead. When you want to have it, have it. If that's what gives you energy during the day, have it. But I'll also advise that if you are not taking your B vitamins, try to take your B vitamins, because those are also energy producing vitamins that are actually helpful for your body, and they are not really harmful, because when you take them and your body uses them and you drink enough liquid, and at the end of the day you go and pee, it flushes out from your body. It doesn't remain in your body, and it causes toxin in your body. It's not toxic, right? So B vitamins are very important option that you can add to amplify or to maximize your energy when you are feeling fatigued or unenergized during pregnancy. Okay, so the next question is, this is about postpartum, but I think I would answer that last. It says, peppermint tea safe to drink when breastfeeding? Oh, yes. So this is about breastfeeding, okay, and peppermint tea. All right. So peppermint tea is such a wonderful tea that I love. I even had that yesterday, and it's one of the herbs that is in my deeply nourished pregnancy tea that I sell in the tea blends that I have on my website at the nourishedmuslimah.com. So if you are interested, you can check that out. It's very, very refreshing. It's very beautiful. Peppermint tea, if you are in your first trimester and you are experiencing nausea, peppermint tea, ginger, and lemon are fantastic. Okay, fantastic herbs and spice, because ginger is a spice. Fantastic that you can add to subside the triggers of nausea and the symptoms. Okay, however, if you, and then across board through our pregnancy, peppermint tea is safe, but make sure that you are not overdoing it, because you have to take, all herbs have to be taken in a culinary way. You don't have to overdo it and say, okay, I want to do it and drink it, because you don't know the chemical and the herb constituent that is gonna affect the baby. right? How much? And that's why a lot of the times there is some controversies with recommending herbs and medicine, because if you are on a medication like contemporary medication or conventional medication, and you are taking herbs, there's a lot of like, okay, herb drug interaction, right? Because we have to be careful. Sometimes we don't know the amount. There's no enough research to say that some herbs do this and some herbs do that. As in the case of red raspberry leaf tea as well, when it comes to labor preparation. If you are interested in knowing about that, I have a video that I will also link in the description box when I'm done with this live. And also you can check in my video tab or in my live tab to check on that with red raspberry leaf. Okay, so yeah, that's just that, right? So peppermint tea is safe across board. However, if you are experiencing heartburn when you are pregnant, if you are pregnant and you are experiencing heartburn, peppermint tea would be something that would aggravate your heartburn. So you want to pay attention to that, because that peppermint tea, that minty flavor aggravates heartburn. So you want to watch that and pay attention if that is part of something that causes you heartburn. If you are experiencing that, then peppermint tea is something that you have to stop and eliminate, right, in your pregnancy or when the heartburn stops. Okay. Peppermint tea, when it comes to breastfeeding, it is excellent as well. All right. It is very, very extra safe. However, coming back to taking it too much, it affects your supply when you are breastfeeding. Okay. So if you are breastfeeding and you're taking a whole bunch, maybe more than a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons a day, or more than the serving size a day, then it might be something that would affect your supply. And I'm not talking about a generalized thing for every woman. You want to pay attention to your supply, okay, and your intake of peppermint. Sometimes it will not have any effect on it. Sometimes it does have, based on the amounts that you take. So you pay attention to how much you take, and then also how much are you producing. If your baby does not show any sign of hunger, does not show any sign of fussiness, the baby is good, he's growing, he's healthy, after a feed, they are good to go, then you are getting enough. But if you happen to be somebody who is also pumping, that is also an easy indicator of how you can measure how much you are making, or how much you made yesterday and how much you made today. And also the food that you eat, you've ate enough or you've hydrated enough, that also might be factors that you have to watch. But otherwise, taking it too much would definitely affect your supply. So you might want to check on that. So I have my deeply nourished pregnancy tea that you can take. I have the peppermint in it. It smells amazing. I have ginger, and I have red raspberry leaf tea as well. That's very, very fantastic, especially to prepare you for all the stages of pregnancy. So if you are interested, this is not something that I planned to even mention, but randomly I answered this question. So it is. So I have to also market my stuff, right? So if you're interested, please don't forget, check it out on the nourishedmuslimah.com and purchase that, inshallah. All right. think something happened. Oh my. Okay. All right. So I think um my screen looks frozen right now. So if you can hear me, please let me know in the comments. Like send me a comment and tell me that you can hear me, so I wouldn't be here talking and nobody hears me. Otherwise, after like 5 minutes, I'm gonna turn it off because this happened to me before. I'm recording with my phone, and there is a call that came in and it's disconnected something. So please, if you are here watching me and you can hear me, um, just comment in the comment section that I can hear you so I can continue. Otherwise, I will just disconnect after some few minutes because I don't want to be talking and giving all this beautiful information and the life is not beneficial to you because you can't hear me. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I can't even touch anything over here. It says, I don't know. Maybe I should just end it. It's been a minute already. So I will end it and then come back on tomorrow, inshallah, to answer some of the other questions that I have. If you have any question, please put it in the comment section below. Or, like I said, check my Instagram page and send me the message, send me a DM, and I'll try to answer it on live here on YouTube. All right. So I'm not sure if anybody hears me, even what I say right now. So I will end it here, inshallah. I hope you stay cool. Yes, the weather is very, very hot. The heat is hot, and there is something that I'm even planning to share, a beautiful hydration recipe that I'm planning to share. So I'll come back on to share that, inshallah, tomorrow. So stay cool. Make sure you hydrate enough, okay? And stay blessed. And until next time, be in the best of health and iman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.